Take a couple minutes here to show you some simple ways that I'm fishing a drop shot. You know, we're looking at summer patterns here real quick. In fact, there's a big fish just jumped right there. I need to catch him when we're done with this. And I want to show you how I'm fishing a drop shot. A lot of people are asking about drop shots for bass fishing. There's so many different ways to do it. This is a couple simple ways I like to fish it. One is going to be more of a weedless approach. One is going to be more of an exposed hook approach. Both have their places. I'm going to show you each of them. But for starters, how I'm rigging a drop shot and what is a drop shot. Some of you are probably familiar with it. Basically, a drop shot is you have your hook above some type of weight. You can see I got about 18 inches there. That weight right there is going to hit the bottom. This is going to be at that desired depth. The idea is to use, let's call it a finesse approach, or something to where you want an absence of weight. You don't want that fish to pick up the weight. You don't want them to feel as much as, let's say, if they're picking up a jig head or something to that effect. So that weight here hits the bottom of the lake. Depending on the length of your lead, this is where your presentation is. So from there, you tie on your favorite drop shot hook. There's a variety of different options out there. I've been really leaning towards that spin shot series from VMC. I like it. It comes in a variety of different hook types, from your Nico finesse wacky hook to your, I'm going to show you your weedless worm hook, variety of different ways. And you can do this everything from panfish to bass to walleye. So this is not just a bass approach, but for this situation, we're going to talk bass fishing. What I do here for my rod setup, for this approach, which is going to be more of my open hook, wacky, flirt, more finesse type hook, thin wire hook, I'm going to be using a medium light action rod. I had this rod custom built at Thorn Brothers. I'm using a 3000 series or 2500 series Shimano reel. I'm using a 10 or 15 pound braided line, main line, and I got about an 8-foot fluorocarbon leader on here. So I want a fluorocarbon attachment that goes to the receiving end of my bait, and away we go. And as far as your tag line here, people ask, what should I use? Honestly, some cheap monofilament in your garage. If I got some line that I think might be going bad, I'll grab that. It could be 8-pound test, 10-pound test monofilament, and that'll be just what I'm using here for this bottom portion of my line here for the drop shot setup. So this is going to be more of an exposed hook. I'm fishing a pocket fry on this one. This is going to be a wacky rig. The weight on this side really depends on the depth you're fishing. It could be the variable like a wind, a lot of wind. I might go to a heavier weight. I may want to get down faster. So there's different situations for the type of weight you use. I really like the cylinder weights. This is a 1/4 ounce. This seems to be the most versatile for a lot of variety of situations. You can definitely go up a size or down a size from there for most of the applications I fish. So this is going to be how I'm fishing this wacky rig. A lot of people think wacky rig has to be on a plain hook, cast out there, let it sit, do nothing. I catch a lot of fish on a drop shot wacky rig. It's just right in the fish's face. You can see that hook point, and that spin shot, you can see this can spin 360 degrees on that little piece of wire tied on there super efficiently, super effective. So that's going to be my first drop shot setup, and I can use all kinds of presentations on this exact setup. For the sake of the video right now, I just have a wacky rig on there. The next setup is going to be a little more beefy, and I'll explain why. I'm going up to a medium action rod on this one, pretty much the same kind of line setup, maybe a tinge heavier because I might be fishing in some heavier cover, because I'm now fishing a weedless approach. So now same type of hook, that spin shot, it can spin 360. You can see there now I got a little flirt worm on there, a little robo worm. Now I have that rigged weedless, maybe a slightly heavier weight. I can pitch this into some more, maybe a little more cover. I'm not flipping with this. I'm not pitching milfoil with this. So this is still going to be relatively stay away from heavy vegetation. But now I'm not too worried about maybe some exposed coontail, maybe some pockets in the foil, maybe some more immediate weed line type stuff, and I can fish it in that manner. That's why I'm going to a little beefier rod, a little more hook sitting power, horse them out of there, maybe stick with that 15-pound braided main line. I go to an 8 or 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and away we go. So this can be fished a variety of different ways. You can see I got that weedless. I will oftentimes, this is an underutilized approach for a lot of drop shot. I catch a lot of fish drop shotting. So here's that weedless hook. A lot of fish drop shotting a weedless tube. It's worked exceptionally well for smallmouth, for largemouth, for a variety of species. I just bury that hook point right in the tube of that, or base of that tube. Now I got myself a drop shot tube. This will catch a ton of different fish, very effective. If I have to pull through some weeds, I'm not as concerned. So those are my 1-2 approach for drop shotting. I got more of a finesse application exposed hook. I got a weedless worm hook for this type of situation, medium light action rod, medium action rod, and I can pretty much cover the gamut and drop shot from anything from 5 feet of water all the way out to 30 feet of water. Give drop shotting a try if you haven't already. It catches a ton of fish, especially now for the next few months here through bass fishing season. Good luck.